energy flow. Okay. Energy flow is very important that it be correct. As you refine it, you'll feel the energy flow correctly moving throughout the body. When the energy flow doesn't move correctly in the body, you will automatically resort to FRCT will take its course, which we don't want. If energy flow is not correct, there will be some force involved. There will be resistance. There will be cluttered mind because you have to process and think. And then you'll have tension throughout the body. Once you have tension in one part of the body, it actually affects the entire body. Okay? And just the opposite also plays out. When one joint opens, all joints opens. And when one joint closes, all joint closes. Now, on Thursday, we talked about energy flow, how that plays an important role for safety in terms of when we're doing meditation walking. Let's break down energy flow and what that represents in the more deeper refinement and how to understand it. Okay, first of all, you need JFM, okay? Opening the joints, stretching the fascia, and hanging the muscles. As you become more Song through the practice of Song Gong Xiang Fa and applying how to incorporate Song into your solo and two-person drills, you're going to feel the energy going down. Okay? We say down the front, up the back. And when it goes down, that's what we call GAP, gravity alignment pressure. That will get heavier and heavier. So think of a fishing weight. Of course, that's only maybe a few ounces, maybe a pound. But think of a heavy fishing weight of 5-10 pounds, and you have a fishing wire holding it up. You kind of feel that way when you get deeper into the IST practice. You feel like when you're walking, there's this weight that you have to drag, but it's not uncomfortable. In fact, it's actually very comfortable because now you feel more stable. They call it Chan. Chan means very heavy and you feel very stable. So that energy that goes down is what we call, it has a ripple effect. People have asked me, Wayne, when the energy goes down, does it go only straight down? Yes, it does go straight down, but it also ripples. Okay? Just like it ripples, it opens more wider and wider, but it goes down vertically and it expands inside. It expands more when you're more Song. It expands more when you have internal balance, where the right and left side of your body is not looking for the internal balance. That's when it's empty, and now your Zhongding connects to the internal space, and the energy expands going down. Now, what happened when it comes up? The same thing happens. It doesn't just come up. When it comes up, it spirals up. Why that is very important? That spiraling up is what helps to protect your knees and all the other joints in your body, but especially your knees. When the energy is spiraling up, as something goes down, something comes up. Now that energy allows the knees to rotate left and right. So as a result, that energy doesn't become physical. It's just the energy that expands to help you turn left and right. That's what happens. So with that said, when that happens, that prevents it becoming physical now. Okay? And when the energy is spiraling down and the energy is spiraling up, what happens is that now you become more like a balloon. That balloon allows you to be empty. And when it's empty, that's when you don't get caught in two-person drills. Okay? You don't get caught in two-person drills. You practice it in solo training, and you're going to express it and verify it when you're doing the two-person drills. Okay? So Mary had a good question for me the other day, and I was thinking about it. What am I doing? Okay? So what I'm doing is that because I'm constantly sinking, I'm constantly expanding. So if you touch any part of my arm, because I'm expanding in an internal balloon, once I touch you, your energy will stick to me. And when your energy sticks to me, you come forward, you go backwards, I will stick to you. Not only will I stick to you, if you retreat and roll back, I'm going to follow you and turn my rolling 8-ball. Now you become more vulnerable. That's what I'm doing. So that energy flow is very important. And I've been talking a lot about the elbows going down that will guide the shoulders to go down. That energy flow will be affected when the arms become any, if there's any physical or resistance or tension in the arms, is going to affect the energy flow. So a lot of times I work with students when we do unscripted push hands. If I find you very easy, which I normally do at your stage right now, it's because the energy flow is not going through the center. It's leaking out to your arms. And what happens when you leak energy out to your arms? It becomes stiff. It becomes rigid. And you start to have tension there. That's why I can find you easily. But when the energy flow is constantly flowing through the middle and you're expanding, now your arms become a balloon. The energy doesn't get stuck there. It moves through your arms like a conduit, like two antennas moving. But everything is happening from your center, from the expansion of your balloon going out to both arms. That's why the energy flow is very important. And you'll know when the energy flow feels really well, it's because your center of gravity will become more in the middle. Once that happens, your right and left side is not going to be looking for the balance no more. We want it to be empty. That's why Song Tong Hong. When both sides are empty, now your center is going to have the balance, the internal balance. When that happens, the energy flows really well. So that's what happens when you're doing two-person push hands. And because we're doing it in a more developmental, constructive, and supporting each other, when I find you easily, it's because your energy flow has already leaked out to your right and left arm, or even in your body anywhere. That's why I can find you very easily. And your balloon doesn't become a balloon no more. It's actually your body is not they call it buoyancy. It's not buoyant. It's not buoyancy no more. It's just the physical mass. But when you have the internal balloon and the energy flow, that day will come for all of you if you keep practicing. then it's going to be more difficult for someone to find your equilibrium. Okay? That's on energy flow. So when we meet up in person, I'm going to talk about that more in class, give you examples of how it works. And then when you understand it in a more refined way, when you're doing the arm bridge, when you're doing Song Gong, when you're doing meditation walking, the rooting series, what's going to happen to your energy flow? It's going to go right in the middle and it's going to stay there as you develop. And what's going to happen to your arms? It's going to be more and more empty. And the legs are going to be empty. And your waist is going to be empty. When that happens, the energy flow is in the center. And what is in the center is where you want to be. And especially in two-person drills, because the reason why you easily move when we're doing two-person drills is because the energy has nowhere to go now. You're not sinking no more because there's a leak in your pathway. So as a result, the energy stays within the limitations of the confines of your body. So that's what happens. So that's on energy flow. And we'll talk more about that from time to time. As you make progress, and everybody will hear, and I talk about it again, it'll resonate with you. Today is just planting the seed. So make sure everybody, you start to water it. And this way, it'll become more and more of how you understand it, not just a conversation. Okay? So that's on energy flow. And feel free to listen to that. I recommend it to listen to it from time to time among all the lectures that I do because it will come back to help you when you make progress. Okay, so we do